Bonjour, aujourd'hui c'est le lundi 27 avril. Aujourd'hui, je vais répondre aux questions du Cultural Project et puis je vais vous parler comment je vais noter et puis je vais vous rappeler quelques détails. So today I wanted to go over some answers to your questions. I apologize for not doing so sooner. The survey in Canvas, I was having trouble understanding how to access your answers. For some reason, I thought it was going to be like a quiz and easy to get to, but I really struggled to find your answers to those questions in the survey on Canvas. So thank you for your patience with this. And if you need to turn in the project a little bit later because you haven't gotten answers until just now, that's fine. That's totally fine. You don't even need to email me about it. It's no worries. Um, So I wanted to go through and answer some of the questions that y'all asked. So thank you, first of all, for those of you who completed the survey, and for those of you who asked questions. Even if you just hit NA for the question part, I really appreciate that. And this is a new project for me, and so I kind of anticipated some questions, but I can't anticipate all of them. So it really, really helps me to know, okay, what's unclear, what needs to be clear. So let's start real simple. Will the project be in French or in English? It'll be in French. So here's the project description. Uh, and here I wanted to really make sure I made that really clear. In French, so this is kind of one of the later steps, right? Assemble some kind of presentation, or write a blog entry, or make a video, whatever works best for you. But yeah, definitely in French, okay? So the project will be in French. Can you do music for the culture project? I'm really looking forward to doing music. Um, I would say yes, as long as you use one of the other vocabularies. So whether it's maybe fashion, maybe you can weave in fashion vocabulary a little bit. If you feel really confident with your performance on the other modules, you can do music, but one of the goals for this project was to get you to review one of the units we'd already done. So I want to really encourage you to try to work with that. Um, but if you're really passionate and you're excited about music, I don't want to stand in your way. So yeah, if music is your jam, go for it. But again, the idea of the project was kind of to help you review one of these units that we'd already done. What is the final format for the project? Slideshow, paper? That's a really good question, right? And the reason it's a good question is because it's actually pretty open-ended. Uh, you can do a Google Slides presentation. You can make a video. Maybe you can make a film video, right? Like a fiction video or a documentary style video. Or you could do a blog entry. Or, and I left this blank, just anything that allows you to communicate what you've learned in an effective, engaging way. So really, it's up to you what that means. And I wanted to leave you a lot of freedom with this, just to see what y'all did. For me personally, I'm most comfortable with something like a PowerPoint. But if you're feeling ambitious, you could do something more creative, something that requires a little bit more um, creativity or kind of organization that fits in with a different genre, like a video or a blog entry or something like that. So that's that's entirely up to you. So this is a really good question because it is really open-ended. It's really what sounds most interesting to you. What do you think would be most effective? Can you do housing and school academics? Sure. Yeah, I think this would be ambitious. But this is your time, and I'm offering this to you as a way to earn a little extra credit, basically, and a way to boost your grade, but also a way to review the past units. And if you're really excited about this project and you feel really inspired and you want to go above and beyond and you don't feel challenged by your other classes or anything like that, hey, go for it. Like I would be thrilled. I'd be thrilled. So yes, you can do both. Just make sure you do both well. Okay? Will we get a rubric and when will it be due? I'll answer those in a moment. Um, how in depth do we have to go? I'm an overachiever, but I don't want to go too far. And how long does the project need to be? So these are really good questions, and I left it a little bit open-ended, so it makes sense that this isn't super, super clear. Um, Essentially, what I'm asking you to do is I'm asking you to pick one of these and to find some basic information about the country, and then at least three examples of, say, fashion in action, right? And you'd write sentences, maybe one sentence for each example, so maybe three sentences, some images, and then maybe you would include a video or something. So for me, the minimum would be you take the information you found in these articles and in these videos, and you put it together in a presentation in which you talk about, okay, there's some basic information about the country. Here are three examples of fashion in Senegal. I don't know. And then here are a couple images, and then here's a short video that I found, and it's, you can give just the video. That for me would be kind of the minimum. You can go well beyond that, right? Mostly what I'm looking for is just that you're kind of taking, like, checking these boxes essentially, and then turning in something that kind of comes together. And because that's going to look different for everybody, I don't want to be real specific with that. So I hope that answers your question for the most part. Where if you do the things that I'm asking you to do, you'll get kind of a base minimum product. Uh, but but if you get really inspired, you can go farther, and that's great. So there's no minimum length of the project, but it'll be pretty clear if you're not doing one of these things. If you're not sharing basic information, if you're not giving examples of the chosen culture, if you're not including photos, things like that, um, if you're not comparing, right? So those are all pretty essential. One person had a good question about 3D models. Can I use that in my research? Yeah, of course. I've heard of people using like The Sims to create digital models of houses and stuff like that. Go for it, right? Use every resource at your disposal. Anything. And I think that's a great idea. Go for it. Um, I hesitate to suggest responding to the ads that are popping up on your phone for an app, but but um but use your best judgment about safety and security and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, if it seems legit, go for it. And then finally, somebody asked, will we get a rubric? When will it be due? So for the rubric, I'll talk about it in a second. It's due this Friday, May 1st, but that's a really flexible due date, okay? And it's really flexible because we, as your teachers, we don't know what's going on at home. Maybe you've got a whole lot of work to do for your other classes on top of watching your little brother or your little sister, or on top of working. I know some of you are still working, you're essential workers, which is, uh, I wish you didn't have to, but I understand that some of you do. So we don't know what's going on at home right now, and we want to be as flexible as possible. So I gave you that due date, Friday, May 1st, as kind of a guideline. If it gets turned in a week later, no big deal. Okay. So the due date is flexible, but that's the due date if you're looking for one, if that helps you. Will you get a rubric? So let me answer that now. I want to keep grading simple for me and for you, right? So if you complete the cultural project and turn it in roughly on time, you'll earn 30 out of 30. So for me, if I get the project after summer's already started, yeah, you're not going to get 30 out of 30. But if it's turned in a week late, no big deal. After about a week and a half, 2 weeks, it's kind of pushing it. Um, okay. If you forget to add the video, audio, text, if you don't use enough of the related vocabulary, if you forget to give basic overview information about the country, if you don't compare, the kind of cultural practices of the country with the cultural practices of your home country or your home culture. Uh, that's an important detail that you're leaving out. You might earn like 20 out of 30, or 25 out of 30. It's just like one of those things, right? Um, so basically, it's a completion grade, right? Did you complete it? Did you check all the boxes? Did you do all the things, right? And the idea for me for this project is to give you a way to engage with French-speaking culture in a way that you don't normally engage with it, and to really get to know it, to really get familiar with it. And so if you do the project, I'm thrilled, and I'm happy to give you 30 out of 30, and that'll boost your grade, right? Um, so yeah, my goal for this is not to be super rigorous and stuff. My goal for this is to give you a fun, engaging way to engage with French, and I'm happy to boost your grade for you putting in that work. So and I want to just on that note, I want to remind you, completing this project can only improve your grade. Okay, it cannot hurt your grade. If you earn a 20 out of 30 on this, um, say you turn it in super late, you forget to name the country that you're working on, and there's no comparison or anything, cool. Like you're missing a lot of elements. Um, the 20 out of 30, maybe that's lower than your overall grade. That grade won't count. Okay. So I'll check over the work. I'll give you some feedback if you want, but that grade will essentially be like exempt. It won't count. Okay. It'll only count if it improves your grade. So this can only help. I hope this answers some of your questions, and I really look forward to seeing what y'all come up with. I think this could be a really great opportunity. Um, and yeah, I hope you're doing well. I'm thinking about y'all. The weather's getting nice. I hope you're getting out and staying safe. I know that me and Miss Punzel go for walks. We wear masks when we do that, just to protect other people. And so yeah, take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and au revoir.